So now we move on to part B of question 23, the business and data analytics. The question reads, assume that an investor takes an investment loan of 150 million. The loan is for 48 months at an annual interest rate of 15%, which the bank translates to a monthly rate of 15% divided by 12 comes to 1.25%. The payments are to be made at the end of each of the 48 months. Required, calculate the monthly payment on the loan. Part 2, assume that you have the following options to negotiate with the bank. Option 1, option 2, and option 3 with the various interest rates and the terms. Use a two-way data table to determine which option would be the most favorable to the investor. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to work it out towards the right over here of your screen. And we are going to come up with what you can say, or kill two birds with one stone. We are going to come up with an amortization schedule. So we move on and construct an amortization schedule that will be able to indicate or draw us to a conclusion of the up to 48 months there. So we first have solution here. Here, bold. And the schedule will start with the principal over here. So we first of all say that this is solution amortization schedule. Schedule like that, bold. So principal, so we change this, it's not correct English, so schedule D, schedule at principal. Then we have the monthly payment, payment, like that. Then as we move towards the right, monthly payment, we will have the interest component, Then we have the reduction of principal, over here, and then we have outstanding balance. There. So going back to our question over here, the principal we have been told is 150 million. So put there that, and filling in the monthly payment, we are going to use the PMT under the formula bar right here. So we'll use the PMT. You can see it's already here. This is where you can type any value. If you want to put power, or if you want to put sum, you just put the PMT, say OK. It gives us this function argument box. The rate was how much? So we're going back to the question over here, 1.25%. So we put 1.25%, and then we come over here. Total number of payments, you can see it's right over here, 48 months. So 48 months over here. The present value, what is the value that we are taking a loan, the loan amount. So you can see it's 150 million, 150, like that. We click OK. It will give us a negative value because it represents money that you're going to dish out every month like that. However, we need to change this to a positive value, and how we do that, we can be able to put over here negative 150 million, and we should be able to have a positive value there. Once we have that, the monthly payment, we need to compute the interest component over here. And the interest component together with the monthly payment is the one, or the difference between the monthly payment and the interest component is the one that's going to reduce the outstanding principal there. So the interest component is based on the interest rate, of the monthly interest rate. 1.25% of how much? Of 150 million. So let's do that. Come plus this value, 150 million, then you're getting times 1.25%. That. We get that value there. So once we get the interest component as that, the reduction of principal will be how much? So the reduction of principal, we just get the difference between the monthly payment right over here and the interest component. So all of these should be put in bold, yeah, headings. So plus the monthly payment, subtract the interest component, we get the reduction of principal. The outstanding balance is going to be plus 150 million, we reduce it by 2.299 million. Enter that. So that is the outstanding balance. We can, of course, put this in what we can say a table format, that to see after 48 months how it is actually going to turn out. That. So this value, the outstanding balance, becomes the beginning principal right over here in the second period. So plus, you can put it like that, and you'll actually pick. So once we do that, we drag, and we're saying that we want it consistency is key, Kenya shillings, Kenya shillings. So we drag this value or this formula right down, all the way down there. We see how far it goes. You see it has 0 here because you don't have any value right here. That's no problem. We drag the formulas and just moving down like that. So we drag this, moving down up to there. This is going to be a monthly payment. It's going to be the amount that you're going to be paying every month. So this is the interest component that will keep on changing because it's going to be based on this value here. That. So we're saying it's going to be that value times 1.25%. So here we're saying the reduction of principal is going to be the difference between the monthly payment and the interest component. So we come down here, and pardon me for that, it didn't have a plus sign. It should have that like that. So instead of doing all of that, dragging it like that, let's undo. You can just double click. Just another shortcut. Double click, it comes right here. And this one, we do the same. We just double click. Sorry, it should be like that. It should pick. So it picks. We need to ensure that 48 months is actually going to be realized. And how do we do that? We come over here and indicate that this is this is the first payment, the second one, like that. And we can be able just to come and drag this down until we reach the 48th month right there. So dragging it down. So we drag it until we reach 48 months. That's 23rd month, like that. We still continue from there. From here, we still continue until we reach 48 down here. So we just fill series. So fill series, and you can see it comes all to 58 over here. So we don't need this up till there. We just delete that. And now we just drag these values moving down. So how do we drag it? We don't drag one by one like that. As an accountant, you just pick the values up to there, and you drag until you're able to see the 48 months like that. So we will have to move towards the right. We see where you're going to go until somewhere here. And you can see the balance comes to 0 at this point. So after 48 months, we expect to have paid the loan fully. So going back to the question right over here, calculate the monthly payment on the loan. The monthly payment on the loan, you can be able to see it's right over here, 4,174,612.24. That one is done. Then part 2 is asking us, assume that you have the following options to negotiate with the bank. Option 1, annual interest. Option 2, annual interest. And option 3, annual interest is also given. And also the terms are also given. use a two-way data table to determine which option would be the most favorable to the investor. Like that. So the purpose of constructing an amortization schedule is perhaps KASNEB may be able to ask you to prepare an amortization schedule. Now you already know how to prepare this schedule. So we will then use or utilize just down over here this monthly payment so that you can be able to create a two-way data table over here. So the variables that are changing, we need to move like so, are these values right over here. So we proceed on to construct two-way data table. The steps to follow is that you must have at least your tab, this tab called data over here. Then you come to what if analysis over here, where you have the forecast. You come to what if analysis over here. Don't click scenario manager, don't click goal seek, you just click the data table over here like that. So once you click the data table over here, it's two-way because we have a row input cell that we'll be able to shortly do, and a column input cell over here. So this is how we'll be able to construct the two-way, which has got the row and the column input data table as follows. So we'll first of all need to have these items, the items of the months and the annual interest rate represented either in rows and columns, whichever way is okay that you can be able to do, that you can be able to select. So this option 1 is what we have actually calculated above over here, because you're seeing we have an annual interest rate of 15%, 48 months, and you can see here from the question it's 15%, but now divided by 12, and the number of periods is 48 months. So we will then decide now that the interest is going to be as part of the column over here. Deciding that, we just select over here. See the annual interest over here. Just say the interest. That, and we can be able to have a series of them over here like this. Insert, rather it should be at home. We come to this direction, rotate, we want it in this direction, that the interest, and we want to merge and center. It's not centered, so we center it using that. There. So that's the interest rate. There. And the interest rate, we are going to fit in or fill in different interest rates over here. So we'll start by filling in 12%. We start by, because it's beginning from 13% all the way to 18% there. So you can start from 11%. Yeah. First thing is to put percentages over here. Click the percentages here. We have 11. Then we drag it down until we reach 18%. Fill series. So it doesn't pick 12 because we didn't define the values there. There. So it goes all the way to 17%. You can be able to increase it by one more to 18% over here. So does this reach that part there? So for ease of traceability, we can be able to just decide to put these grid lines over here, or these borders. Let's put them like that so that we can be able to see where it actually reaches. So this one we just merge and center. We unmerge and center, then we'll extend it to there. Merge and center, it comes over there quickly, very easily. And these ones we can just format painter, and it picks like that and properly like that. So here we can be able to put in now the thick border, let it remain like that. But remember, we've only put the column input over here as percentages. What about the row input? For the row input, we'll need to have the months specified to us over here. So when putting the months over here, we can start from over here. We can put months above right there. Here, so just insert, move down, move that over here, months. Like so. So we put it like that, margin center, that's okay. Over here, then we can have the months over here. We can start from 12 months, so 12 plus, we can start from 12 months, yes, 12 months, then plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12, like that, and so on and so forth. We drag the formulas as we move towards the right. So you can see it's not reached, oh sorry, I've not dragged it the proper way. Need to drag it, so we drag it like so. We see if it perhaps goes until there. 12, 24, it's not picking, plus 12, so it should add plus 12, plus that one, plus 12, like that. It should continue like that. We give it an argument like that, then you should be able to pick comfortably. So we don't even need to go until 72 months because the question is telling us up to 60 months there, so we delete that one there. And we can be able now to put this into borders. We can put borders there, like that. So right over here, we need to put in, because you're saying that the month is moving towards the right and the interest rate is moving down. So it's two-way. We got the months and the interest rate over here. For us to fill in the table, we will need to have a side working right here. The same way we calculated the PMT, we come and have a side working over here, so that interest that we're going to pick from here, what interest am I talking about? I'm talking about the monthly interest of 4,174,612.24 needs to be completed over here, and the table is going to pick from our working right here. If I decide to put in plus this value over here, it is not going to work. The data table is not going to work, and I'll explain to you later why. So here we have AMT amount, you can put it as 150 million by there. Then here we have interest by here, that, so you can put it, instead of putting it in bold. So the interest, we have been given the interest over here, 1.25% over here, so it's 15% over 12. So I'll put that formula like that. So 15% over 12, and I didn't put a plus before that, so I put a plus so I can pick that, and we put now percentage like that, 2 decimal places. Then we put period there. The period, you can see from here is 48 months over here, so you just put 48 months, so it's plus 4 years times 12. Give us 48 months over here. And then here we can be able to get monthly interest. So interest, monthly, INT. I'll put it like that in short. So we now use the payment plus PMT. You can see here it is. Put it there. And then if you are not sure about, because it gives you the rate is how much, we put that. Then we put the number of periods over here, we put a comma, number of periods, put that there, comma, and then future value, present value, pardon me, we put that over there like that. Then we close the bracket, then we say enter. Remember what we put the other time? We put a negative sign right over there. So we put a minus over there like that, so it can be able to pick and get a positive value there. So that's the monthly interest. And this monthly interest is the one that has to come over here. It has to come here for the data table to actually work. So plus that value there, enter. So we want now to try and assess the various options over here. So when we use a two-way data table, we have to highlight this like so. Then we come to what I've already explained before, data, then what if analysis, data table. Then it asks you, what is the row input? What is moving towards the right? You can see months. So we don't select the months, we select it from over here. So you see the period over here. Then we click on this other next cell. What is the column input? What is this column input right over here? So the column input cell right here, this needs to be in months. So as you can see here, the interest is monthly over here. So this needs to be converted to months. So escape this one, I'll need to put plus over 12. That. Then of course I'll convert all of them into 2 decimal places, home, then I put like that, and this should also be over 12, like that, that over 12, plus and over 12, so on and so forth, over 12. So this one over 12 plus. Over 12. Finally, plus over 12. So just to confirm, this over 12, that, just to be sure that we are consistent. Yes, that's okay. So now we can apply a two-way data table, and we come to data, what if analysis here, data table, we come what is the row input, the months. So the row input is period over here. The column input is interest rate. You can see now we've converted them now into months, onto monthly interest rates. So we're putting them, we're going to put that value over there. And one thing that we didn't do, we didn't highlight the table. So we go back again, highlight the table like that, highlight the table first before now coming to data. Then you come to what if analysis, then you come to data table, you come to row input over here, we're putting a number of periods, and then column input over here and months over here. So interest rate, pardon me. So we put the interest rate like that after highlighting, or highlighting precedes now selection of this data table over here. And we say it comes like that. And you can be able to clearly see that the amounts for 48 months over here, 48 months annual interest rate over here is for under option 1 over here, we should be able to get the 4,174,612 over here. So let's see. So it's 48 months over here and 15 months, 15% interest rate. Let's see, this one, yeah, so it should be this one over here. So let's highlight that one over here like that, so that we can be able to indicate that that's the first option. So that's the first option, 15% interest rate at 48 months. Then the second option is 18% at 60 months. So 18% over here at 60 months. That's the second option over here. And then we have 13% at 36 months. So 13%, so this is 13% at 36 months. So here those are the three options that we have over here. So indeed, because you can see that this one is essentially the same as what we have at 48 months over here, the examiner did not give us a criteria as to what you're supposed to select, or which option or the limiting factors that you are going to select, so that we can be able to, they did not give us the most favorable, which would be most favorable to the investor. So favorability is based on many factors, and we are saying that some of the factors could be the amount of money that at disposable income that maybe the investor may have. So an investor, if they have got at least significant amount of disposable income, they've taken a loan, then they would go for this option of 36 months over here, which is option 3 over there. However, this is the base case that we're having over here. We can be able to decide to take maybe this would be too strenuous for the investor. Perhaps you'd want a longer period, or at least 48 months at the interest rate of 15%, which translates to that per month. Some investors would prefer a longer period of time, but remember, longer periods of time would mean the amount of interest you'd be able to pay, the interest you'd be able to pay on the loan to the bank would actually be much more as compared to an individual who takes this one. Yes, this one, the interest, the amount of monthly payment is actually quite high, but once this individual finishes off paying off the loan, they'll end up paying not as much interest as this individual who has taken up 60 months of a year. So this two-way data table is of course given a direction from maybe management team, can be able to guide you or can be able to summarize, summarize for you, create for you a summary as to present to the board for consideration over here. So this ends question 23B. Thank you for being with Manifested Publishers. God bless you.